from the trip. I'd like to confirm.
Hey, I've been getting the runaround for 2 hours. I'm
Well, can you
coming
tell me
up.
approximately how much money was missing? Was it over $1,000?
I'm sure you'll be able to find your finalists.
Oh, that's great. I get to knock half the kids right out of the box before lunch.
Look, the Tribune could always offer a few more scholarships, you know.
I wish I could offer a scholarship to all of them. Make my job a lot easier.
And my life. How's it feel to be back in high school, Mr. Grant?
Strange. I had this urge to grab a smoke in the boys' bathroom.
Well, the kids are still doing that. But I don't think they're smoking the same thing you did.
What about malts? The kids still go for malts, don't they?
Of course, at the old malt shop. That's where they play the jukebox and dance the Lindy Hop.
Oh, that's great. Some things never change, do they?
Morning, Miss McCormick.
Morning, Miss Davis.
This way, right there. I'll bet you were a wonderful student, Mr. Grant.
No. Cute, sure, but not wonderful.
Come on.
Well, I was more interested in batting averages than isosceles triangles.
So was I, but I still found time to be cute and a wonderful student.
Yeah, but you didn't have Mrs. Lefton as a teacher. Took me 8 years to get over her.
Tough?
Oh, she was the kind of teacher who called second graders Mister. Do you feel the need to go to the little boy's room, Mr. Grant? I kept turning around looking for my father.
As I was trying to say, the causes of World War I were a series of what seemed to be unrelated threads when... Danny, we can't both be talking at the same time.
So why don't you be quiet, man?
Okay, let's try and outline the various power blocks that existed in the summer of 1914. It was Germany, Italy...
The next candidate is Victor Wilson.
Victor Wilson. Straight A's, editor of the school yearbook, captain of the football team. He's not good looking, too, is he?
Handsome, friendly, and well-liked.
That's disgusting.
Victor?
Mr. Grant.
Victor, sit down. I've been going over your record.
Any questions?
Yeah. Did you ever do anything wrong?
Danny, sit down.
Don't touch me! Don't touch me!
Danny, before you get in trouble, sit down. You want to talk about it? Danny, I'd much much rather deal with your problems and the problems of Europe in 1914. Is there something that I...
Nothing!
So, the days of the old guard of the European aristocracy were numbered, as were the lives of many innocent young men throughout the world.
I'm impressed, Victor.
Thank you. Rising.
Why do I have the feeling I'll be working for him someday?
We'll all be working for him someday.
Hmm. Wesley Dandridge is next, huh?
Yes, Wesley's next.
He doesn't seem to be in the same league with the others.
Oh, it's true. On paper, he's not. But there's a whole lot more to the story than what's in that folder.
Want to fill me in?
Well, he was kind of a reclamation project for me. He was in and out of trouble through the 9th grade. Terrible home life. Father beat the mother. Mother drinks. Well, he joined a gang, got into some trouble. Petty larceny.
His grades are pretty good the last 2 years.
He turned himself around. We put him in a special program, tutored him after school.
What about the gang stuff?
It's over. Now, if he just gets this one break, well, you'll meet him.
Wesley, nice to meet you.
Same here.
Sit down.
Thank you.
Let me ask you something.
Sure.
How does a guy fail biology one year and get an A the next?
Well, one year he doesn't ever show up in class, and the next year he does.
That's it?
And he stops doing drugs.
And he stays after class 3 times a week for special tutoring. And he volunteers as a biology lab assistant.
Yeah, but the drugs was the big thing. Also, I went through EST.
Est?
That was a joke, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was a good joke. I just didn't expect it.
No, it was a lousy joke. I'm sorry, I'm just a little nervous.
I'm telling you, it was a good joke. I just wasn't ready for it.
All right, come on, Daddy. We're going to go to the dean. Come on.
You'll see him, man. I've seen him lots of times.
Come on. Come on. Don't touch me. Daddy, now come on.
You hit those lockers pretty hard.
That kid couldn't have weighed more than 150 pounds. He tossed me aside like a bag of tomatoes.
He was on PCP.
Angel dust.
That kid didn't even know you were there.
Yeah? Well, I sure knew he was there.
PCP's about the biggest problem we've got.
Not to mention the shortage of referees.
Yeah, well, I'll admit that we didn't exactly put our best foot forward today, but life down here isn't all that bad, you know.
Is it riskier teaching now? It sure seems like it is.
It's hard to say. I mean, my experience as a teacher would be different from anyone else's. I don't like to generalize.
Well, let's be specific then. I just saw a kid practice for the Golden Gloves working out on a teacher. Does that happen once a day, once a week, a year?
Why are you yelling?
I don't know. I just saw a teacher attacked. Somehow that seems to violate a basic premise on which I was raised.
Well, if that's the only basic premise on which you were raised which has been violated, you're a very lucky man.
No, I'm serious. It really bothers me to see a teacher be the victim of a kid's attack.
You see only one victim, the teacher. Now, when I see a kid acting up, looking for trouble, looking for attention, I mean, a kid who can only communicate through violence and anger, I see another victim. That kid.
Yeah, but he doesn't have a busted nose. And the kid was so spaced out, it took about 8 of us to tie him down.
Things have changed since I went to school.
For one thing, they don't write on slates anymore.
Did you see those photographs from New York? Some school in the Bronx. It looked like an army camp.
Oh, I think you're exaggerating, Charlie.
No. You know, teaching has become very risky in the big cities.
Living's become very risky in the big cities.
Yeah, and if something isn't done about it, decent public education is going to become just a memory. I mean, the good people won't go into the field, and if they do, they won't stay.
Well, being a Whitman opened my eyes to one thing anyway.
What?
Our coverage of schools stinks. Billy, Rossi, I need you.
Turn it off. I said turn it off.
Lady, you touch that, you're gonna be in big trouble.
Pascalwin, are you having a party without inviting me?
She told me to turn down my radio. Don't nobody tell me what to do.
But you know it's against school rules to have a radio going.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, this ain't really school property.
Sugar Plum, you mean to tell me that this tile that matches this building is not part of our high school?
I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, I guess it is.
Right. Well, and the next time somebody like Miss McCormick asks you to do something, they're not putting you down. They're just trying to remind you about the rules. And the next time you're giving a party, invite me. But no disco. Only jazz.
I never let no woman whip me like that.
She didn't whip me, man.
The hell she didn't. You better check your pants, make sure they're still in there.
Lou Grant will continue in a moment here on A&E.
According to these records, the only grade you've ever received is A.
Yes, sir.
How'd you manage to learn the rest of the alphabet?
I stayed after school.
Victor, I've got to tell you, this record is quite an accomplishment.
Thanks. I had a lot of help.
Victor, I'm really pleased to have met you.
Same here, Mr. King. Pleasure. Mr. Donovan. Mr. Grant.
Victor?
Great kid. Super.
Who's next?
Unless it's Clark Kent, I think we've already found our winner.
Nice you have such an open mind.
Well, Lou, Victor Wilson's an obvious choice.
Of course he's an obvious choice, Charlie. And except for the Ku Klux Klan, he's been offered a scholarship from every civic group from here to New Jersey.
He deserves it.
I'm not arguing that. All I'm saying is that maybe we should think of awarding a scholarship where it'll have a little more impact. Maybe there's a kid who either goes to school on our scholarship or he doesn't go at all.
Lou, can't anything ever be easy with you?
Isn't he wonderful? Make you feel guilty for voting for the best candidate.
There's one more kid to see. And so Mr. Pinchon thought that a good way to repay his old high school was to set up the scholarship.
Your publisher went to Whitman?
That's right.
He was black? Was it a joke?
Oh. Well, if neither of you guys have any more questions, I guess we know what we need to know.
Wait a minute. Tell them that story you told me.
Which story?
About the job.
Which job?
At the bakery.
Oh. I used to work at a bakery.
What did you make?
Rolls.
Rolls?
Yeah, well, sometimes I got to work on rye bread, but mostly rolls.
Never mind about the rolls. Listen. The kid worked the swing shift at Bauer's Bakery downtown. School from 9 to 3, tutoring 3 to 5, then the bakery from 6 to midnight. Right?
Yeah, but a lot of kids do the same thing. I mean,
we're not talking about a lot of kids, Wesley. We're talking about you. At least we're trying to.
Great kids. Just great.
You know, I just love the idea of the Trib going out there and bringing new talent into journalism. I mean, it's like a farm system in baseball, you know, except that we don't just buy our players from established papers. I mean, we're not like the Yankees or the Angels. We're more like the Royals or the Dodgers. We nurture our players, we bring them along, and then wham! maybe it's not like a farm system at all.
I blew it, huh?
Almost. It's not over.
When will you decide?
End of the week.
Maybe I can win a Pulitzer Prize between now and Friday.
Look, Wesley, you did fine. It's just that...
No, listen, Mr. Grant. I'm sorry if I embarrassed you, you know. I just froze.
What are you talking about? You didn't embarrass me.
Well, I'm no good at interviews. I get nervous and...
Good people always get nervous at interviews. That's where the wrong people get hired.
Well, as long as I'm still in the game.
Look, you better get back to school, and I better get back to work.
Yeah. Well, I'll see you later.
Jenny Davis, please. Hi, Jenny. Lou Grant. Listen, can I buy you a malt? You want a booth, or should we just sit at the fountain?
Fountain will be fine.
We're just going to have a couple of malts.
Malts?
Not too thick, okay?
I don't know how to make a malt.
Do you make brandy Alexanders?
Yes?
You make a malt the same way, except you leave out the brandy and bring us the Alexander. Not too thick. When I tell a girl we're going out for malts, I ain't just whistling Dixie.
Bad choice of words, Mr. Grant.
Oh.
Hey, but hey, big spender, I'm with you.
Lou, okay?
Okay. This is everything I have on Wesley. I hope it's some help.
Thanks.
What exactly are you looking for?
I don't know exactly. Some piece of writing, some example of Wesley's work that can represent him better than he can himself.
He said he did poorly at the interview.
It's not only that Wesley did poorly. Victor Wilson, God bless him, comes off as a cross between O.J. Simpson and Martin Luther King.
Kind of a tackle-busting preacher man, huh?
Yeah. You know, I sent a couple of reporters down to Whitman to kind of look around. I think it might be a good time to start a story on teaching in L.A.
That's a broad canvas.
What do you think they'll find?
Whatever it is they want to find.
A lot more violence?
Probably. The culture's a lot more violent. Schools don't operate in a vacuum.
I went to a rough high school, or what people thought was a rough high school. But that was Pleasant Valley Nursery School compared to what's going on down at Whitman.
Lou, at Whitman you've got 3,300 kids and 120 staff members. Each one has a different perception of what's going on.
All that violence in the air doesn't belong in a school.
You think schools should be exempt from violence because they used to be exempt?
Isn't that the way it's supposed to be?
I don't know how things are supposed to be. I just know how they are. Lou, this is supposed to be a malt, the way they used to make them. Not too thick, sweet, chocolatey, and delicious. It's none of those things, but it's what we've got.
Teaching here is no more dangerous than teaching at any minimum security prison.
How long have you been at it?
20 years.
You ever have any trouble yourself?
Nothing I couldn't handle.
What happened yesterday to you? How unusual is that?
The threat is always there. I misread the situation. Things got out of hand. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't have challenged him directly.
You don't get a lot of help from the other kids, do you?
Most of the kids resent the violence. They get very upset when a teacher's attacked.
Worrying about all this makes it hard to teach, doesn't it?
That depends on what you mean by teach.
Reading, writing, arithmetic, that sort of thing?
No, when you've got kids acting up in class, you've got to deal with it. That becomes a lot more important than the 3 R's.
If we get to teach, Mr. Rossi, it's a luxury. Mostly we babysit teenagers.
I couldn't help but noticing you've got armed guards in the hall.
That's new. What about it?
They don't exactly have master's degrees in psychology, right? Seems like just a matter of time before someone gets shot.
I wouldn't be surprised. Back to the salt mines.
Thanks for talking.
Right, thank you.
Thanks for listening.
You know, the security guards aren't the only ones who carry guns in school.
You mean the kids?
I mean the teachers.
How many?
A lot.
Do you?
Yes,
Would you use it?
I think so.
There just isn't a big problem here, Miss Newman. Maybe at some other schools, perhaps. But not here at Whitman.
There was an incident here yesterday, wasn't there, in which a young student slugged a teacher?
Danny Lopez, yes. But I don't think slugged is an accurate description. There may have been some pushing and leaning, but it's still a bit hazy.
I thought a knife was confiscated.
Oh, I don't think you could call it a knife. It was more like a nail clipper.
So, you don't think that teaching as a profession is more dangerous now than it was?
That's a myth. There were some problems here, and we've cleaned them up. Teachers who are unhappy here will tell you differently, of course. But isn't that always the way?
She won't be putting me down again.
Why not? She didn't even know you did it.
Yeah, well, that's just the beginning, man.
Lou
Hello. Hi, Charlie. Listen, I've been reading some of Wesley Dandridge's stuff. It's terrific. The kid's a natural.
What?
It wasn't your fault, Charlie, but I think you made him nervous. Sure, the other kid, Wilson, he's a standout, but he doesn't need us. When you read the stuff, I think you'll see.
Who is this?
Never mind. Go back to bed. I'll talk to you in the morning.
Answer it, Art.
I've got to, honey.
Break the mood.
We'll put the mood back together. Don't worry.
This better be important.
Donovan, there's Lou.
What's up?
I've been thinking about Wesley Dandridge.
Who?
You know, the kid we interviewed for the scholarship. The one who worked at the bakery. Listen, I've been reading his stuff.
Lou, could we talk about this in the morning? It's after midnight.
I wanted to talk to you before you went to bed.
Unfortunately, that's not the case, if you get my drift.
Wait a minute. Are you alone?
No.
I'm sorry.
Give me some aspirin. My head is splitting.
No, I interviewed for a scholarship yesterday.
Uh-huh.
For college.
If you had any brains, you'd be out getting a job and making some money, instead of looking to waste more years in school.
The scholarship is for the newspaper.
No good, lazy. No good. Do anything to keep from working.
You can work there when you finish.
Just like your father.
You're welcome. That was you last night, wasn't it?
What are you talking about? Oh, you mean the phone call?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I didn't know it was so late.
Did the mad caller get you too?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. But you gotta read this stuff Wesley Dandridge wrote. I had these copied.
What is it?
Oh, 2 short stories. They're great.
Okay, I'll read in my office if I don't fall asleep.
You won't be sorry. You either.
I got some great stuff at the high school yesterday.
What kind of stuff?
Well, for openers, one of the teachers told me that she carries a gun.
A gun?
In her attache case, next to the lesson plans and Silas Marner.
She the only one?
She says no.
You better check it out. Are we talking about one paranoid lady or a school full of armed teachers?
According to the principal, Mr. Sherman, everything is hunky-dory at Whitman.
He didn't mention that heavy mortar practice is part of the teacher training program?
Malcontents and troublemakers, that's the only problem he sees. Great staff, great students, great school.
Okay. So we've got a teacher who sees trouble everywhere and a principal who thinks he's living in Munchkin land.
What do you think?
You talked to any of the kids?
Not yet.
Why don't you? Let's hear it from the Munchkins themselves.
Okay.
Billy,
Yeah?
I want you to talk to Jenny Davis. She's a guidance counselor at Whitman. She'll give you an angle you won't get from anyone else.
Hey, yo, Gus, what's happening?
Hey, I'm late for class, Haskell, all right?
Oh, you too busy for an old friend, huh? With some dynamite weed in his pocket, and some cribs and dudes, and what have you up his sleeve, huh?
Yeah, well, I got better things to do, all right?
Oh, well, hey, man, I can dig it. If I had Jenny Davis waiting to get it on with me, why, I'd have
Hey, let me tell you something, man. If I ever hear you say that again, even if it's a joke, I'll slap you upside your head. You dig that, huh?
Just joking, my man.
Come on, guys, let's go. Next class, let's move it, huh?
You know, you're just jealous. That's all it is.
Of what? You ain't no different than me, and you ain't gonna end up no different than me either, man, so dig that.
Come on, move, man.
We're not through here, all right?
You are if I say you are.
Is that so?
Yeah, that's so. Come on, man. What's wrong with you, Brad? Come on.
Has teaching lost some of the allure it once had?
Hasn't for me.
It's everything you expected?
I didn't expect anything. I mean, listen, if someone comes into the system because they think teachers are supposed to get respect, are supposed to be the authority, are supposed to be loved, well then, yeah, they may have had a little reality gap, sure.
Do you think that teachers in the inner city should be paid more than, say, teachers out in Woodland Hills?
Oh, you mean combat pay?
That's a term I've heard used.
I hate that idea. I mean, to me, that says the teachers are in a war and the kids are the enemy. I mean, if you're going to call it combat pay, you're going to have warriors on your hands. Because the kids are going to pick up on that.
It's okay, Jenny. We got this turkey calmed down now.
Run it under the fold and carry over to page 3. What else?
More than half the new teachers in the Dallas school system failed an exam designed to test the intelligences of people over age 13. The report also said that these teachers would have been disqualified from employment if they had taken the exam before they were hired.
Well, just give it a couple paragraphs inside.
On the same topic, I've got the opening on the L.A. school series. You got the memo, Charlie.
Where? Oh, yeah.
There's some art on it.
Where's that?
I put you there with the guns.
This is incredible. I haven't seen this much hardware since Anzio.
Those are weapons confiscated on city campuses last year.
Hello. Listen, I had a chance to read that material your boy Wesley wrote.
Isn't it great, Charlie?
Very, very good.
That's great. I knew you'd like it.
Hey, he's a sensitive, talented writer. A little unpolished, of course.
Maybe 4 years of college would polish him up, if you get my drift.
Let me give it a little more thought.
I'll call you at home. Why don't you call me when you want to talk?
Better.
Hello, Grant. Hi, Billy. How'd the interview with Jenny Davis go? He did, huh? Yeah? Yeah? No, I don't think he's got a chance now.
What? What is it, Lou?
That was Billy. She's downtown at Whitman High.
And?
Our boy Wesley tried to punch out a gym teacher today.
You scared me, Haskell. This has got to be the latest you have ever stayed in school. Don't even think it. Don't even...
Lou Grant will continue in a moment here on A&E.
Look, I've been calling for 3 days and she hasn't been in. That's some cold. Can you give me Miss Davis's home phone number, please? Thank you.
Listen, I'm sorry about what happened to the Danbridge kid.
He's got a lot of promise.
Maybe it just isn't his time yet.
Yeah.
Hello?
Jenny, Lou Grant. Listen, I know I'll see you at the ceremony tomorrow, but I wanted to... You won't?
The fact is, I won't be going back at all.
What do you mean?
I've left teaching.
Why?
Personal reasons.
I don't understand.
Just tired of it, that's all. Gonna try something else. Maybe go back home to Texas for a while.
Listen, can I come over there and see you?
What for?
I don't know. What you're saying doesn't make sense to me. Maybe if I saw your lips moving, I could understand the words a little better.
Okay.
Give me your address. Bye.
Hi. I don't know why you bothered coming all the way down here.
I don't like eating lunch alone. Tuna or egg salad?
Either one, I don't care.
Good thing. I hate tuna.
I don't think you're gonna find me very good company.
Can I at least take my jacket off? That was a pretty sudden decision to quit teaching, wasn't it?
Told you on the phone. Tired of it. Want to try something else for a while.
If I believed that, I'd be having lunch at my office.
Wish you were.
Newsmen are immune to personal attacks, Jenny. Don't you know that? There aren't many people as good at what they do as you are.
Yeah, well, I'm tired of being charged with the care and feeding of society's problems.
You're a born teacher, Jenny.
I'll grow up. Will you, Lou? There's no such thing as a born teacher anymore. Just a bunch of people who get stuck in the damn system.
Listen, lady, I've seen you at work. What happened between you and those students is a very special thing.
Yeah, well, things have changed.
How?
I'm not the same person.
Why?
Who, what, where, when, and why?
Hmm?
You really know your journalistic technique, don't you, Lou? Me. Beaten. And raped by a couple of punks. My own office. I don't know why.
I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Now you understand?
No. Why does that keep you from going back to teaching?
Because I'm not who I thought I was. I was living in a dream. I thought I could handle things just because of who I was. But I tell you something. If I had had a gun, I'd have killed them both. It was always the other teachers who had to ask for help. Mr. Principal, change it for me. Board of Education, change it for me. Make it comfortable for me because I'm really frightened. And I always used to say it's a given, that it's risky. I am not going to whine for help. I always said, if I wake up one day and decide that I'm going to cover up my head because I don't want to get up because it's too scary for me, I'm going to quit. Because then I'll know my time has come. Well, my time has come.
I hate this.
But it's the truth.
I know. That's why I hate it. 300 assaults, teachers carrying guns, combat pay.
There are 27,000 teachers in the system, but we're only talking here about the ones we know have had some trouble.
There are some bright spots. Did you see my profile on Jenny Davis?
Yeah.
She's quite a lady.
She was assaulted after school.
Oh, no, that's terrible.
They got the guy who did it?
Yeah, they got him. 2 kids, aged 16 and 17.
How's Jenny?
Depressed, angry, confused. She wants to quit teaching.
You talked to her?
Yeah, I talked to her. Didn't do any good. Been quite a week. Jenny, Wesley. And now tomorrow I'm supposed to award the Matthew Pinchon Memorial Scholarship before a group of high school kids who haven't the slightest reason to believe me or anything I say to them.
And this year's winner of the Los Angeles Tribune Scholarship is Victor Wilson.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
A great example for all of us. I'm not really good at making speeches, so I'd like to introduce someone to you who is. It is now my pleasure to introduce our honored speaker, the Reverend Jesse Jackson, leader of Push to Excel. A man who, I can't do it, you can't do it.
Today we have the distinct privilege to share with you in this honors ceremony. And there are some basic principles that we need to establish very early. One of them is that learning is a personal thing, finally. You really must want to learn. You must say to yourself, as a student, that I can learn. It is possible. That I ought to learn. It is the moral thing to do. It is possible. It is imperative that I learn. A teacher ought to say, I can teach. I ought to teach. I must teach. And thus we start with a very attitudinal premise. And we often say that it is not your aptitude, but your attitude that determines your altitude with a little intentional fortitude. We must live with the consequences of our decisions. If we spend 3 hours a night in front of a TV being entertained, rather than 3 hours a night trying to learn how to read, write, and think, we will live with the consequences of that decision. If we become weak and superficial and use pill power and cop out rather than willpower and cope with, we live with the consequences of that decision. If we become isolated from the real world rather than insulated from it because we're tough on the inside, it's nothing but a choice. So repeat this after me. If my mind can conceive it, If my mind can conceive it. And my heart can believe it. And my heart can believe it. I know I can achieve it. I know I can achieve it. Because I am somebody. I am somebody. Respect me. Protect me. Never neglect me. I am somebody. Down with dope. Up with hope. Down with dope. Up with hope. My mind is a pearl. I can learn anything in the world. Nobody will save us from us, for us, but us. I can learn. It is possible. I ought to learn. It is moral. I must learn. It is imperative. Right on.
Lou Grant will continue in a moment here on A&E.
How you doing?
I'm hanging in.
Well, that was a crazy thing you did, Wesley. What the hell were you thinking of?
I wasn't thinking at all. Otherwise, I wouldn't have done it.
Where do you go from here?
Back to work at the bakery.
Making rolls?
No, I've been moved up to cookies and cakes.
Oh.
I put a few dollars away, start junior college in a year or two.
Good. Good. You handling this okay?
Pretty good so far. You know, I'm supposed to handle things pretty good, but I don't think this is going to be too easy.
Those times when it's less easy, you give me a call or come see me.
No, you got too much on your mind. You don't need me to add to your caseload.
Hey, you're a good writer. I don't want you ending up at the Times. Busy?
Just cleaning up my things.
You want some help?
I don't care.
That was quite a speech, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Kids seem responsive, don't you think?
Yeah.
It's funny. I came here today feeling helpless and frustrated and angry. Nothing's really changed. And yet I feel, I don't know, hopeful.
That is funny.
I guess it's really all a matter of perception. Didn't you tell me that once?
Lou, I heard that speech too. It was full of hope, full of commitment, full of idealism. That's fine for Jesse Jackson.
But not for Jenny Davis.
Not anymore.
Look, Jenny, I can't possibly know how you feel or what you went through. There's going to be a terrible pain there that no one else will ever understand. I wish I could say that I understand. I wish I could say something, anything, to make that go away, to make that better. I can't. Jenny, it makes me crazy that you're going to quit. I swear to God, it makes me sick. Because you're good, and you've got to know that. So good that no one can replace you. Because if you're not there to tell these kids how important they are, to guide them, and to cajole them, to kid them, to motivate them, to make them reach for more, then damn it, there won't be anyone else there to tell it to them ever. That would be a damn shame.
I thought you weren't any good at making speeches.
enjoyed being with you today. Good luck to you.
Come on, Lou. I'll buy you a malt. My treat.
I thought you'd never ask. Wow.
Stay low! Hold on! But I can learn! It is possible! I ought to learn! It is more! I must learn! It is imperative! Right on!
A raid on a seedy Soho club uncovers a cache of art forgeries. Inspector Allen tries to find whodunit on the A&E mystery movie tonight. Now, why would a veteran cop risk his life on the day of his retirement? Ed Asner stars in Police Story, next on A&E.